Meeting two astronaut spirits from the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster. I took no diary notes from this event now 17 years ago, so I will only relay what information that I can clearly remember. I was home alone and I had turned on the television to watch the news. I was surprised to see footage of the Space Shuttle break up in the sky and I wondered what had happened. A spirit of a man then appeared next to me. I did not see the spirit with my physical eyes, but as an image in my mind's eye that I can see even with my physical eyes open. At this point in my life, an angel I call Anubis, because he is one of many angels that guide the deceased to the afterlife, started to bring spirits to my home. It was a form of training for me so that I could learn how to communicate with spirit. Even though Anubis was not present, I guess that it was him that was responsible for bringing this man into my living room. The spirit man was a bit stunned and surprised to find himself in front of me. I too did not know who he was or why he was there. His attention turned to my television that was showing footage of the shuttle breakup, and it was then that I felt his emotions that naturally radiated off his body. He was angry, stunned, frustrated. I heard him say to himself, "How could this be?" He did not want to be dead. He had things to do and accomplish, and now it was all taken away from him. I got a sense from his personality that he was a bit type A, or lower in social agreeableness, and that his co-workers found him a bit difficult to work with. It was then I figured out that he was one of the astronauts from the shuttle, and I told him I was sorry for what had happened. He didn't want to be with me in my living room anymore, but someone commanded he tell me what had happened to him. It has been so long that I no longer remember who commanded this, if it was Anubis or God the Father. The spirit man then showed me flashes of images in my mind of the last few seconds before his death and then the first few seconds after his death. After he showed me these images, he departed, and I intuitively knew he was taken to see his immediate family who was mourning his death. This is what the man showed me. He sat in the front left seat of the shuttle. He felt burning sensation on his left side near his left leg and left hand. He was looking forward at the control panels but turned his head to look down at his leg to see why he felt pain there. His brain went into immediate shock. Just to the left of his foot was a hole about a foot wide in which he could see the earth. His thought was as such. Only the first two letters of the first word in his thought was done while he was still alive, the rest of the word was thought after his death. He thought the W and H of the word Y. He then found himself as a spirit standing in outer space looking down at the shuttle, which was now engulfed in fire. When he had seen the hole in the floor of the shuttle, he had wanted to think, "Why do I see the earth?" But his death was so fast, he could not even complete the thought. He stood stunned in space for a few moments watching the shuttle break up falling below him before his brain could register what had happened. That was all that he showed me. After he left, an Indian woman appeared in my living room, and she was a contrast to the man who had just left. I do not know how, but her soul was aware and prepared for her death. Her mind was peaceful and she glowed gold. She had a huge smile on her face and she was not at all in mental shock like the other astronaut was. Her heart had a loving aura and I knew she was a kind and loving person. She too showed me her death as an image in my mind. She showed me that she sat behind and to the right of the other man I had met. She showed me that when the hole in the shuttle appeared next to the man, a piece of metal debris, the size of a nut, as in nut and bolt, flew from the rapidly growing hole in the shuttle and struck her through her head, entering near the front left temple and traveling in a straight line to her right backside of her head. She said she died instantly, even before some of the others, and it was painless. She too then left my living room after she showed me her death. I was quite surprised to have met two astronauts that had so quickly come and gone from my living room. The television was still covering the disaster and I wondered to myself why it had broken up. I was then given a scene in my mind and I do not know who gave this vision to me as I was alone. I saw the shuttle and was shown the corner near the windows where the man sat. The word, metal fatigue, entered my mind as I saw the frame of the shuttle in that area. The metal frame gave in, or collapsed in on itself, and a fraction of a second later, the whole nose of the shuttle, from the collapsed frame, peeled off from the rest of the shuttle. It looked a lot like a tin can as its lid is pulled off with a tab. I had the sense that it was then that all the astronauts passed away, and it was later in time when the body of the shuttle was observed burning up in the sky by the media. I do not know why I was so privileged to have met those two astronauts, but I am certain they are well taken care of, because the angel Anubis would have been with them to assist in their transition from life to death. They would have had time to visit their families remaining on Earth before being escorted to the other side. In the following days, I was quite surprised to see the media covering the foam strike hypothesis as the cause of the shuttle breakup, because the foam strike was so far away from where I saw the shuttle frame collapse. This is all that I can remember from that sad day in 2003.